And we're back!
Today we went over to Chuck's Roadhouse located in Sarnia. It was my first time.
And my second time going there.
So we haven't really tried too many things on the menu. But we definitely had an experience. The weather wasn't great today, so it was a little bit of a adventure to get there.
Yeah, it was a slippery slope.
Yes, literally. But we'll get right into the review, and we'll start with telling you what we ordered.
So today we decided to start with an appetizer, which was a garlic pan bread with cheese on it.
Yes.
And then, what did you have?
I had the club sandwich I tried their poutine.
I got the 10-ounce New York steak with fries. And for dessert,
I had the Klondike crumble.
And I had the Nona's tiramisu.
Okay, so let's start with the garlic pan bread.
Yeah.
So for the garlic pan bread, I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything special. The inside of the bread was still pretty cold when we got it.
Mm-hmm.
The outside had lots of cheese and butter and all that good stuff, but the inside I had an issue with. What about yourself?
Yeah, the only thing that kept it good was the fact that it had all the butter and cheese on it,
Yeah.
which is going to make anything taste good.
Definitely.
But yeah, the bread was just okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like a standout thing for me.
Yeah.
What about our entrees?
For my entree, I got the grilled chicken club sandwich, and it was on sourdough rye bread, which was pretty good. I got no tomatoes, so it was just lettuce, bacon, and chicken on the sandwich with a little bit of mayo. I definitely felt that it needed more mayonnaise. And
a little dry.
Yeah, a little. It was funny because the inside of the sandwich was dry, but the outside was kind of soggy, the bread.
Yeah.
It was kind of like when you make grilled cheese or whatever, and then you don't fry the bread all the way. It was kind of like that soggy, buttery.
That's a good description, actually.
Yeah.
That was good.
Or if you make pan-fried toast, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. The poutine, I didn't love it. I found the gravy very, very salty. And they didn't have cheese curds. They just do shredded cheese.
So I had the New York steak, the 10-ounce steak. And I'll be honest, the last time I went to Chuck's Roadhouse, I also had steak. But it was probably about a year ago. So I didn't exactly remember much about it other than I remember it being good. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. But I will say this time, it was cooked properly. I don't have any complaints about that, but it seemed to really lack in flavor. So I was kind of disappointed by it.
I agree. There was no flavor at all.
Yeah, it just didn't seem, it didn't seem right.
It was just
for whatever reason.
It was just like chewing meat with no flavor.
Yeah.
It was just like chewy
and the way you describe that doesn't sound too appetizing to me. So
yeah, it definitely wasn't my favorite thing. I'm not a huge steak person anyway, but
yeah,
this definitely wasn't making me say, let's go to Chuck's.
And I did get it with fries, and I thought the fries were good, I will say.
Yeah, I had a couple of the fries as well, and they were actually pretty good.
So for the desserts, I had the Nona's tiramisu, which is basically, it's tiramisu. I don't know if there was any other ingredients added to it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was like outstanding or amazing or anything like that, but it was pretty good. It tasted good.
See, I had a bite of his tiramisu, and I actually preferred that one over any other one that I've had. I didn't think it had a strong coffee flavor, and that's what I liked about it. Because normally I find them super coffee flavored, and like it's too strong for me because I don't like coffee. But this one I actually really enjoyed. I had the Klondike crumble, which the description was mocha ice cream drizzled in like a caramel and chocolate sauce topped with like almonds, and it looked like Oreo crumbs. It was pretty good. It was very, very coffee flavored, which I didn't like at the beginning, but it did eventually get better.
Yeah, I would say that too. The first bite that I had of it, I didn't really love it, but I guess after eating a little bit, it kind of grew on me.
Yeah, it grows on you. The only issue I had with it was the ice cream was definitely freezer burnt.
Mm-hmm.
So some bites were totally fine. They were great. And then other ones, there was like chunks of ice.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. It's our favorite time of the video.
Ratings!
Okay, so what would you rate the garlic pan bread?
So the garlic bread, I would give it a 6. It was good. It just didn't really stand out to me, and I think we both talked about the bread maybe was undercooked or something was off with it. But because of the butter and cheese, it still tasted good. So
I think 6 is fair. I think I would do 5. Same reasoning. It's just it wasn't great. Like, I could probably make that at home.
Definitely,
but,
yeah.
And for half the price,
yes,
if not less.
Yeah, 100%.
For my sandwich, I think I would give it a 7. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't terrible. It just needed to either be crispy on the outside or not soggy on the outside, and then it just needed more mayonnaise. What about you for the sandwich?
I think 7 is fair. I didn't eat the whole thing, obviously, but within the 2 bites that I had, I agree with you that maybe the kind of the texture you were looking for in the sandwich wasn't quite right, and the flavors were fine. It tasted good.
Yeah.
It was just that. So, and 7's a pretty good rating.
Yeah, of course. I would give the poutine.
Oh, right,
a 4. Really didn't like it.
It was because it was salty, right?
Yeah, it was really, really salty. I don't love salty foods, but that was all you could taste, to the point where I was like drinking so much of my drink.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a 4. I'd say it was maybe a 5. It's still, well, I just didn't want to rate it that low because it didn't taste bad to me. I agree that it was salty, definitely. I don't know if it was just a one-off or if that's just how it always is.
Yeah, some restaurants have saltier gravy.
Yeah.
But who knows, right?
Yeah, but again, it also didn't have the cheese curds, which doesn't mean it's bad, but I feel like if you're wanting to have a poutine,
you want the cheese curds.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does knock points down. So I think overall I'd probably give the meal a 6.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So 6 for your meal.
Yeah.
And for my steak, as I said before, it's not that it wasn't cooked properly, but the flavor wasn't really there. It's kind of seemed like it was lacking. So I'd probably give it, I want to give it a 5.5. Again, that is a low rating, but like I said, it had plenty of seasoning on it, but for whatever reason, you didn't get that really good flavor. And it wasn't like it was the cheapest option, because there was also the top sirloin option that was cheaper, but I went for the New York cut, and it didn't really feel like it was worth the value.
I'd probably say 5 for your steak.
Yeah.
Is that a 5.5 for your full meal or just the steak?
Oh, right. So the fries were good. The fries, I would even give a 7.5. I thought they tasted good.
I'd give 7.5, 8 for the fries.
And yeah, they actually were good. They had enough flavor. They were salted right. That actually goes back to the poutine. It was definitely the gravy that was salty.
Yeah, because I didn't find the fries too salty at all. Like, they were perfectly salted. Yeah,
so the fries were good. I guess if you combine the steak and the fries, I just don't want to give too much to the steak because I really wasn't happy with it. So I'll just bump it up to maybe a 6 with the fries.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'd say that's good.
I think the desserts probably were the best.
Yeah.
Out of the whole thing. Meal? They weren't amazing, but they were probably my favorite part of the meal. Like I said, the mocha Klondike crumble thing was really, really good by the end of it. It's just the chunks of ice that I didn't love, obviously. I would give it an 8, I think.
8?
It would probably be a 9 if it didn't have the chunks of ice.
Really?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
I would give it maybe a 7. Okay. I did like it, but I feel like 8 is a little high. Okay. And then for the tiramisu, I would say maybe a 7.5 because it was good.
Yeah, I'd do 7.5 for that as well.
So
overall, whole experience from the moment we got there, the service, the atmosphere, presentation, everything.
Well, if you want to give an overall review, so maybe we're getting old. I'm not sure. But it was really dark in there, I
Yes,
found.
it was very dark.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Like you might actually notice in the pictures that we put on this video. It was kind of dimly lit.
It's definitely a darker restaurant.
And that's not... If the food was amazing and delicious, I don't think it
matter.
would really matter. But that's just one factor to it. The service was fine.
Once we sat down at the table, I think it was fine. It was the waiting at the door. Like, it took about 5-10-ish minutes to even be acknowledged that we were there. And it wasn't busy. There was no lineup.
Yeah, there was, and you saw plenty of people walk by noticing us. And again, I know everyone has different roles, and
yeah, of course,
you know, they can't all be seating hostesses or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we were waiting for a decent amount of time, and it wasn't that busy.
But once we sat down, the food was out like that. Like,
yeah, actually that was true. The timing of the food was good. We didn't have to wait super long. So yeah, if you factor in all of those things along with the food, I would give this experience a 6.
Ooh, I was gonna do 7.5.
I think it was just because of how underwhelmed I was by the steak that I had. And the garlic bread, again, was just okay. It didn't really wow me. So if you combine all of those things together, that's where I go with it, a 6.
Yeah, like I said, I liked how quickly the service came, like how quickly the food came out, and the waitress was great. Other than that, the food, like I said, wasn't fantastic, but it was fine. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed our review of Chuck's Roadhouse. If you guys want to try it out yourselves, please let us know how you enjoyed it in the comments below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, make sure you have your post notifications turned on so that every time we get a new video, you get the chance to watch it.
We will continue to try to post 2 to 3 times a week, but we also have a new TikTok account that we've started. It is at Jenna and Phil, and you can check us out there. If we haven't posted for a few days, we always post there almost daily.
And as always, if you have any suggestions for another restaurant you want us to try, or a specific food item or a snack, be sure to leave your suggestions in the comments below.
Thank you so much.